The Transcontinental Railroad was a major project in American history. Before the railroad, traveling across the United States was very hard. It could take many months to go from the East Coast to the West Coast. The railroad made this journey much faster and easier. It connected the East and West Coasts, making it possible to travel across the country in just a few days. The railroad also helped to transport goods, making it easier and faster to ship products. This project was a major achievement, showing what people could do when they worked together. Many people were involved in building the railroad, and it was a challenging job, but in the end, it was worth it. The Transcontinental Railroad is an important part of American history. The idea for the Transcontinental Railroad came about in the early 1800s. A young engineer named Theodore Judah had a big dream to build a railroad from the East Coast to the West Coast. Judah worked hard to make this dream a reality and needed support for his idea. He convinced many important people that a transcontinental railroad was a good idea. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Pacific Railway Act, making it possible to start building the railroad. Two companies were chosen to build the railroad, the Union Pacific and the Central Pacific. The Union Pacific started building from the east, and the Central Pacific started building from the west. They would meet in the middle. Many people worked on the railroad, coming from different backgrounds, especially immigrants from China and Ireland. Building the railroad was hard and dangerous work, but the workers were determined. They wanted to be a part of something important. Yara. The construction of the Transcontinental Railroad began in 1863. The workers faced many challenges, building tracks through mountains, deserts, and rivers. One key date was May 10, 1869, when the two railroads met at Promontory Summit in Utah. This event was called the Golden Spike Ceremony, marking the completion of the railroad. It was a moment of great celebration. Another important milestone was in 1867, when the Union Pacific finished building tracks through the Great Plains. Meanwhile, the Central Pacific made progress through the Sierra Nevada mountains. By 1868, both companies were getting close to finishing the railroad. They worked faster and faster, knowing they were making history. When the railroad was finally completed, it was a big moment for the United States. The country was more connected than ever before. The Transcontinental Railroad had a huge impact on the United States. It made travel much faster and easier, reducing the journey from months to just a few days. The railroad also helped to grow the economy by making it easier to ship goods across the country. Farmers could send their crops to markets in the cities, and factories could send their products to customers all over the country. This helped businesses to grow and create more jobs. The railroad also helped to settle the West, making it easier for people to travel and transport their belongings. New towns and cities grew up along the railroad tracks. The Transcontinental Railroad also had a big impact on Native American communities, bringing many new people to their lands. This caused conflicts and changes for Native Americans. It is important to remember this part of the story as well. The Transcontinental Railroad is still important today. It changed the way people think about travel and transportation. It showed that big projects can be done with hard work and determination. The railroad is a symbol of progress and innovation. Today, trains are still an important part of transportation, moving goods and people across the country. Modern trains are faster and more efficient than the old ones, but the Transcontinental Railroad was the beginning of this progress. The story of the Transcontinental Railroad also teaches us about working together. Many different people came together to build the railroad, facing many challenges but not giving up. This is a lesson that is still important today. The Transcontinental Railroad was a major achievement in American history. It connected the East and West Coasts, making travel and transportation much easier. The railroad helped to grow the economy and settle the West. It showed what people can do when they work together. The story of the Transcontinental Railroad is still important today. It teaches us about the power of big dreams and hard work. It is a reminder of the impact of new technologies, and it is a symbol of progress and innovation. The railroad changed the United States in many ways. It is a lasting legacy. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from history.